Good day, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Experts. My name is Raji, and today I'll be responding to the question of the day. What tools and methodologies can be used for data visualization, and how do they enhance your analysis? At this point, it's important we understand that the end goal of a data visualization practice would be to provide insights to your stakeholders so that you can enable them make the right decisions. And the starting point is your data. So with this in mind, the tool to be leveraged is often dependent on the type of data you have, how it's structured, right? And the insight you're trying to provide to your stakeholders. These two factors largely determine the tools we'll be leveraging, as well as the methodology. But before we go further, let's quickly take a look at what we mean by tools, methodologies, and analysis. By tools, we basically mean the technology that you can leverage to process your data and present the outcome, the results to your stakeholders, which is usually a dashboard that makes the data a lot more easy to read as against having to read it in your rows and columns, again, depending on the nature of data you have. And if we talk about methodology, this basically talks about how you leverage your tools to present your data. Take, for example, if you want to present a data that categorizes three groups and you want to look at the number of persons or observable items in each of the group, you can just as well use a pie chart because there are just three of them. But imagine trying to use a pie chart to categorize 1 million items. It's not going to be usable to anyone at all. So again, this takes us back to what I said earlier. The goal you're trying to achieve and the data you've got in hand will determine the type of methodology you leverage. But if we're talking about tools, really, just about every tool you have out there can actually achieve everything you can think of. The key difference would be which tool are you familiar with. The most popular tools out there are usually Microsoft Power BI and Tableau, but they are not the only ones. You can just as well leverage Python notebooks to carry out visualizations. But in the case where you're using Python notebook, more often than not, you're not presenting your data or your outcome, your dashboard, to a business user. You're most likely presenting them to a technical person who understands how the notebook works and can probably probe further on their own. So let's just say it's not that user-friendly. But for the general tools I mentioned earlier, Power BI, Tableau, they are very much user-friendly in terms of you developing your dashboard, as well as the consumer being able to gain insights and interact with the dashboard. So that's all from me for today. It's great to have you listen to this session. See you next time. Thank you.